That's right.
Keep us safe.
Yes, and joining us now for the discussion, former DHS Senior Advisor and author of Terrorists on the Border and in Our Country, Charles Marino. Chuck, thanks so much for coming back with us here.
Sure.
I want to talk a little bit about the importance of security, not just is for our country in general, we know it is, but particularly now, and how truly damaging this kind of back and forth with funding for DHS can be.
Well, the big question is, why do Democrats find it acceptable to keep gambling with the lives of Americans? We saw it when they opened the borders of the country and refused to enforce the immigration laws. And now we see it with the funding of DHS, which does so much more than just border security and immigration. It's impacting the Coast Guard, the Secret Service, the Cyber and Infrastructure Security Agency. There's so many operating components here that are responsible in some way or another protecting the homeland, but yet they continue to do it. Look, personally, I think they're committing political suicide by taking this position with this ridiculous groupthink and not funding the department at this critical time in the country. And, you know, the other thing is the American people need to be informed so that they can be active in their own survival, their own safety and security.
Also want to bring in former NYPD detective and CEO of Brosnan Investigative Group, Pat Brosnan. Pat, always a pleasure to have you on. So DHS, in the Senate, the funding, as we see people on the screen there walking through, obviously a very tense situation there in Michigan. But Pat, bringing you into the discussion here, your thoughts on the Senate failing to pass DHS funding?
Well, I think first of all, it has to happen immediately. You can see today the attack at the synagogue. It's just a stark reminder that the threat environment is in anything, everywhere, all the time today. They just keep on coming. But thank God, and by the way, good afternoon, folks, the gold standard of security was employed there at the synagogue, because you can see where when that comes together, it actually does work. And it worked well here. Operational awareness, controlled access, and rapid response.
Yeah, and you know, as Bob pointed out, Chuck, we're looking here at some people. They all look relieved. I'm going to say that as my assessment from the look on their faces. We know there was a shelter in place that had been enacted there. So our guesses here are that they are being allowed to leave, go home. Obviously, this is also a child care center, so children leaving and they are safe. Again, very good news today in what could have been an absolutely catastrophic situation. But on that note, it is also about, as Pat was pointing out, these different groups working together. Chuck, you brought in how important it is for the public to be alerted, but also, and we heard this on the ground when law enforcement spoke earlier today in Michigan, how prepared they were across the different organizations. Security on site, the police department, the fire department. They had trained in active shootings extensively.
Well, how about this, Katrina? The synagogue just went through active shooter training with the FBI 2 months ago. See, this is self-recognition that some of these sites, like synagogues, they have to have the information to make informed decisions about how they implement safety and security around their venues. And these synagogues know that they are considered to be a target of opportunity, especially during heightened threat periods such as this. So when you combine the training with having the information, then you're able to deploy and implement security policies and procedures that are going to allow for an effective response like this.
Pat, your final thoughts here. Last 30 seconds.
It's precisely the model we implemented at 65 synagogues with my company in Greater Philadelphia, protecting them. The same exact thing. It's professional security, constant vigilance, and clear response protocols. You got to buy seconds when this type of a crisis occurs. And this today was a win for the good guys. This is poetry in motion. That's how security works.